And foremost, fuck Capital One and fuck everything they fucking stand for.
Well, I'm being sued.
So I'm getting sued by a credit card company. It's an old credit card. I have trial this morning, and I was served my papers about 2 months ago.
What's up, Financial Hawks? It's your man Eric. In today's video, we're gonna be going over credit card debt and people actually getting sued because of the credit card debt. The economy is crazy. Things have not improved in 2026, and also now credit card companies are wanting their money back. So let's take a quick dive into this.
I am in my 30s and I am currently sitting at $25,301 with 66 cents in credit card debt. That is my own consumption, my own doing. And I also have about a $28,000, $30,000 yearly income. It's quite a tight budget, you guys, but I am determined and I am ready because this is about the third time that I've gone on this journey, but this time is different.
So you claim you know how to get out of this, I guess, what, 3 times already, but I guess you keep going into it. So after this time, I would just go ahead and just cut up them cards, just focus just on debit cards. When she said she had 25,000, at first I'm like, okay. I mean, in your 30s, like that isn't really like that bad compared to like a lot of other people we've seen, 80,000, 90,000 just on credit card spending on just like, frivolous things. However, she said her salary was what, 28,000, 29, 30,000. So yeah, that's like your whole yearly salary in debt also.
Bhabie is being sued for $700,000 by American Express. So let's break it all down. Bhad Bhabie, the rapper and internet personality who shot to fame after saying, "Cash me outside," is now being cashed out by Amex in the form of a lawsuit for over $670,000. According to court documents filed in Los Angeles County, American Express suing Bhad Bhabie for $674,452.40. Credit card company alleges that she breached her credit card agreement by failing to make payments on her account. In their filing, Amex said, plaintiff extended credit to defendant for purchases and or cash advances by defendant and or persons acting with defendant's permission.
Now that's crazy. $500,000 or a little over $500,000 that Bhad Bhabie owes Amex. I wonder how much he owes with other credit cards. And it's crazy too, because it's like you see these people online, they're saying they're making all this money and they're supposedly showing these receipts. Yet she's making like millions of OnlyFans, yet she's owing what, hundreds of thousands of dollars on all these different credit cards, and she can't pay these back. She's needing cash advances. If you're making so much money, why do you need cash advances? If you're making millions of dollars, why am I then trying to get cash advances? Something's just not adding up. If you're making millions of dollars a month and you're still needing cash advances, either A, you're lying about making those millions of dollars, or something else going on.
They sued me, y'all. The bank sued me for a credit card debt, but I flipped the script. Guess who's got to pay? It ain't me. That's right. I flipped the script when the credit card company sued me for credit card debt, and they end up having to pay me. It's time for you guys to learn how to do this. I want you to go ahead and follow, share, because I'm about to show you what the banks and the debt collectors hope you never learn.
So yeah, I don't know if this is actually true or not, because you see these on TikTok a lot, and I guess social media in general, they'll show you, like, oh, I've done XYZ, but follow and like, and I will, I guess drip feeds this to you. But if this is actually possible, I'm definitely intrigued. If you guys have already seen this whole, I don't know how long this series is, let me know. If you guys have ended up having the credit card company to pay instead of you paying after getting sued, let me know too. But right now, I'm just not believing it, but I could be wrong.
The cost of living pinch is this morning being laid bare, with Australian credit card debt reaching the highest level in more than 4 years. Credit card debt jumped by $530 million in September. That's according to CanStar analysis, as households lean on credit to get through challenging economic times.
And I love looking at videos in other countries just to show you guys that, yeah, in America it's crazy, but everywhere else is like also crazy right now. Like inflation has increased everywhere. It seems like for the most part are struggling in some type of capacity, in all the different countries, not just America. Also too, again, and this one was in Australia, and they're having, record breaking, debt, credit card debt. And a lot of people here say, oh, there's not, I guess people who are doing well, they're like, oh, there's no issue going on right now. People are going to stores, people are still buying stuff, but they're still buying stuff with credit cards. Credit card debt continues to get higher and higher.
One of the top three, this is fucking crazy. But everybody's like, you gotta do a top three. Okay, I'll do a top three. One of the top three fuck up mistakes that debtors make when they're getting sued in court. Number one, they ignore the lawsuit. That's pretty big. You get a lawsuit in the mail, don't do this. Don't ignore it. Fucking read it. That's why it's there. Read it. Number two, you blow off court. It's days away and you're like, fuck it. Don't do that either. And number three, don't admit anything until you see evidence, right? See evidence. Don't just take the complaint at face value. Say, okay, well, I guess it was me. No, don't do that.
Okay, I think that's actually sound advice, especially the first two. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, of course, like, hey, you see all this that you may end up having to owe, like, nah, I'm good. Let me just throw this away and I will just act like I've never seen it and it will just disappear. Unfortunately, after the years of what 3 years old, we can close your eyes and hope that the boogeyman isn't there and they're not there. That isn't the case when you're an adult. So yeah, I would listen to those top three mistakes. If you owe any type of debt,
Got laid off, I stopped paying my credit card debt. I said, if you want to get your money, fucking sue me. Well, there's a company suing me right now, but they probably bought the debt in batch. So I was looking into ways on how I can respond to the summons asking them to verify the debt. And there was 2 forms that I could fill out. Well, my husband comes home and he says, why don't you just have a lawyer do it? We pay for the services. So I'm like, yeah, good idea. I get the call from the lawyer today, and he's talking about making a payment plan with these people. I said, okay, why do I do that? I told him my theory is they send out all of these summons just before Christmas because 70% of the time people do not respond to them and their wages end up getting garnished. And the reason I know this is because it's happened to me before, and I remember it happening just before Christmas, and I forgot about it.
now that is crazy, waiting until actual holidays to actually send this out so they can garnish your wages. So I guess they don't care about the little kids, like, oh, you know what? I wish I could give you this toy, but it looks like my wages got garnished right during the holidays. Now that's crazy, but I guess they're trying to find any type of way to get their money back. And they're like, well, you haven't paid this, you haven't paid this long. So let me go ahead and, do this finagling right here before the holidays, and bam, now we get some of our money back.
The only reason that they have not been sued yet is because it's still with the original credit card company. So let's say it's Bank of America, Chase Bank, Discover, Capital One, American Express. Those companies will not sue you directly. And again, they can hold on to it for as long as they want to and try to attempt to collect on that debt. Once they're unsuccessful with collecting on that debt, then it'll be sold to Midland Credit Management, IQ Data, Jefferson Capital, Midland Credit Management, Midland Funding. So all of those companies will then obtain the debt, which is not sold by pennies on the dollar.
Okay, that's cool. Having I guess more insight about this, the companies themselves are just giving this out to other companies to end up charging you, and they're just getting their amount of money. He's saying that they don't get, I guess they're not selling this at, I guess, pennies on a dollar. I've seen other cases that they were, or that they was a lower amount. So I'm very intrigued to see the exact amount. If somebody could share that with me, that would be fantastic.
They cannot have you arrested over a credit card lawsuit. I'm an attorney. I've worked both sides of collections. I've been making posts about debt collection lawsuits, how they work, how you can best respond to them. And someone just asked me this question in one of the comments: can they put you in jail? Throughout my career, people have asked that question. And the answer is, simply put, no. That is not how this works, at least not in the state of California. Now, if you are watching this internationally, as in not in the United States of America, in your jurisdiction, maybe it works a little different.
Okay, I guess that's one good thing about, I guess, credit card debt. They can't put you in jail, at least then, I guess, that none of us were aware of. However, I believe if you owe taxes, they can, or I guess maybe after a long time, if you haven't paid the IRS, I guess then they have justification to go ahead and arrest you. But I guess at least for credit card debt, you don't have to worry about that. So, hey, I think that's one good positive about credit card debt.
I am saying this out loud for the first time, but I have $1,800 of credit card, 20 years old. Now you may be like, wow, Elise, you're so irresponsible. How could you do that?
Well, I drained all of my savings and ended up moving over 200 miles away from where I was. I'd already had about $1,000 of accumulated debt by that point due to rent, utilities, groceries, stuff like that. Now, some of you guys may know I live in my dad's basement, so it's not really like I'm giving him very much. Like, I try and keep the house clean, I do the dishes, I mop the floors and stuff, but I am living rent-free, and I pay for all of my gas by myself. He does pay me about $2 an hour to help my siblings every month work through school stuff because they're unschooled. But 200 is about the amount of gas to just go to school for 1 month.
Okay, so this whole video, I end up having just like more and more questions. Originally, I'm like, okay, 1,800 isn't really like that bad. I guess 20 years old. I was assuming that she wasn't going to school. So like after she graduated from high school, she just, start living in the real world, having to move XYZ, stuff can, add up. However, she's saying that she's staying in her dad's basement. She's not paying any rent. She is, I guess, getting $2, I guess, the tutors, I guess, some of her siblings, I guess. I don't know if she actually works or what else she's doing.
I got sued by American Express for a credit card that I never paid back. What should I do? I mean, pay it. If you got sued for a debt that you actually recognize and accumulated, the best option is to not just ignore it, it's to pay it. You can reach out to the law firm or American Express and come to a payment plan with them in order to settle and satisfy the debt. Otherwise, if you ignore it, then you could potentially have it lead to a judgment or even worse, a garnishment where they're pulling the money out of your paycheck directly and you don't have a choice in that matter anymore. So I recommend, again, if you happen to get sued on an account that you recognize, make sure to respond. You typically have 20 days to respond to a summons.
Okay, so I guess that's good. They give you some type of grace period. I guess the 20 days. I'm assuming that's because, you never know how long it may end up taking if they send it to you through the mail. So I guess that's what's up. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who sent that question in, actually don't have the money to actually pay it back. So them getting the answer, paying it back is like, well, I'm in the situation. I'm messaging you because I can't pay it back.
I have been financially not doing great. I am a nurse. Even though I am a nurse and I make good money, I don't have money, which is the sad part because of the choices that I've made still currently and the choices that I've made like previously, like from a couple of years. I am in credit card debt. And it's this unhealthy cycle that I have been putting myself into. And this just relationship with money has just never been something that I was talked about. Lifestyle creep is definitely a thing. And especially when you are trying to make a brand for yourself, when you're aspiring to do something that you want to do. And content creation has been something that I've always wanted to do. Being a YouTuber has always been something I want to do. I've always just wanted to be on camera.
So yeah, I definitely feel her on that. Me also being a content creator, I've always felt that, instead of just working in just like a regular, job or XYZ, you should aspire to do more. So outside of just the content creation, also, prior to getting into cybersecurity, spending the money to take the test, spending the money to take the certifications and classes and the different software, that stuff definitely adds up. And it's like, dang, it's like if I didn't try to do better, I may not have been in any type of debt, but my current salary wouldn't be as high as it is now. So it's kind of like a risk reward type of situation.
I recently posted about the fact I'm 26 years old and I'm in $95,487.73 worth of debt, and I want to talk about it. Up until 24 hours ago, I did not know that was actually the total of all of my debt, credit cards, and student loans. That number also does not include my auto loan, and if we are adding in my auto loan, the total number is $110,938.83. Since totaling up all of my debt, I don't think I've actually gotten one good breath of oxygen in the last 24 hours. I feel like there is an elephant sitting on my chest, and I don't think I can sit still because all I keep repeating is $95,487.73.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that is a lot. However, I'm glad that she let us know that all of that is not credit card debt, so that's good at 26. Some of that, or probably a majority of that, is probably student loans. So yeah, that is bad. However, the student loans are usually lower interest rate, so that wouldn't be my primary concern. My primary concern would be those credit card debts. But yeah, the student loans, usually again, she's 26. So by the time she started, college, the interest rates could have been crazy. I know we were looking at some other ones. They were paying like, I think over like 10% or something crazy like that. So at least when I was going to college, the interest rate wasn't that high, but she's 26. So when she was in college, the interest rate could have been crazy. But my main focus would probably, again, be those credit card debts, because those are probably higher, probably 20-30%, knocking those out first and then going towards those student loans. But anyway, guys, hopefully you liked and enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, too, if you're feeling good or you're feeling bad, go ahead and leave how much credit card debt you currently owe in the comments section. And yeah, I'll try to comment again with the voice messages. I'm not sure you guys in any of the last video, but YouTube allows voice messages, so I can talk to every single one of you in the comments with my actual voice and not just me talking through the text. But anyway, guys, again, hit that like button, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace.